I just saw the dumbest commercial on YouTube, or one of the dumbest commercials on YouTube. Of course, it's a pro-dog commercial talking about how totally amazing and awesome dogs are, which I don't agree with. But the statement that was made right at the beginning of the commercial was so dumb. She comes on and she says something about dogs being special or whatever, and then a dog grows up 6 times faster than a baby. No. A human is not an adult by the age of 6. I didn't watch that commercial all the way through. I didn't have the stomach for it. Yeah, and this whole man's best friend. Oh, give me a break. No, they're not man's best friend. They're man's best moocher is what they are. Man's best friend, my foot. My best friends do not drool all over my hands, and I would not allow them to either. My best friends do not sit near a baby's high chair waiting for the food to drop so they can eat it. Dogs will take food from a baby's mouth. Not only that, they will sometimes take the baby for food. Dogs have been known to attack and kill infants. My best friends would never consume my body, either after I die or shortly before I kick the bucket when I am injured, sick, or otherwise incapacitated. Dogs have been known to do this, including attacking their owners during seizures. So much for therapy dogs. If ever there was just one reason not to get a dog, this is it. Dogs have been feasting on human corpses since Bible times. My best friends do not go around eating secretions from humans and animals. My best friends are as disgusted by that kind of behavior as I am. My best friends do not go fanning their butt stink all around the world, trying to make everywhere smell like dog crap. That's what dogs do when they wag their tails. They're not being friendly and happy. They wag their tails when they are attacking, too. They do it to fan their farts. My best friends do not go around humping everything. My best friends do not go around licking themselves you know where, loudly and exaggeratedly for everyone to see and hear. My best friends do not sniff people, especially not in the crotch or in the butt. My best friends do not get stupidly, hysterically excited whenever people come to their door. They do not bark their fool heads off and try to race to lick the guest's hands. My best friends don't drink out of the toilet. My best friends don't gobble up gross, disgusting stuff and then try to lick my hands. My best friends don't jump up on me and try to lick my face to get me to vomit something up. That's why dogs lick your face. They don't do it because they love you. They do it because they're trying to get you to barf so they can eat it. Yeah, they're that disgusting, people. Yeah, there's nothing remarkable about dogs. They're actually pretty stupid and annoying. And they're always demanding attention. Oh, you can't ignore a dog when it comes over to your house or when you're over at someone else's house and they have a dog. Unless they put the dog away, there's just no ignoring it. And they get into your space, and so they're disgusting. I don't like them, and I don't like the way they smell. They stank. They smell like dog. And I don't care what anybody says, that if poodles or Maltese or whatever smell less than the dogs with non-wool hair, no. They smell like dog. You'd have to really be a dog lover to not notice the smell, and I'm not, and I never was. Dogs are the loudest eaters, and it doesn't matter what the size of the dog is either. They're all loud. They're gross, they're obnoxious, they're demanding, they're needy, they're smelly, or I should say stinky. They are the world's biggest, loudest spazzes over everything, freaking out over stupid stuff, and freaking out over nothing at all. No other animals do that. Oh, sure, animals scamper and run away when they're scared, but dogs do the opposite. They come charging toward whatever new is in their environment. Those freakouts are usually motivated by anger, rage, They want to get whatever it is that's in their vicinity. Prey drive, same thing. Also, they might get some food. And the other thing is that they want attention. They want to be center of attention all the time. So when they think they can get some attention, they just and go charging toward whatever to see if they can get attention and food or possibly attack something. As for this rubbish about dogs being compassionate and kind, no, only humans register emotions like that. If a dog was compassionate, it would not get so much joy out of a squeak toy. You know why dogs like squeak toys so much? It's because when they squeak, they sound like dying animals. Or at least an animal in serious distress. Now, squeak toys don't sound like that to us when we play with them, for the most part, because of the way we squeeze them. The dogs, on the other hand, they do make them sound like distressed animals when they play with them. And I've had a chinchilla before. When she had nightmares, she would make these alarm calls, and they sounded remarkably like a squeak toy being played with by a dog. As for the claims about studies where dogs gravitate toward people who are crying, also bogus. Dogs are extremely bold, pushy, and opportunistic. The fake crying? That just sounds like weakness to a dog. Same with why they gravitate to people who talk baby talk to them. They like that because it sounds like weakness, which means potential prey, potential food down the line. Now that's just the fake crying in the studies. With real crying, oh yeah, dogs will gravitate toward people who are really crying too. For one thing, if they're crying really hard and they're making these weak noises, and for another, stuff's coming out of their nose and their eyes, and dogs are going to go, yummy. I read something in an email once where somebody who was raising marmosets said that her dog cleaned up after the marmosets. And you know what I mean. She even said, ew, gross. I once read a chain letter about a welcoming dog at a wildlife refuge that welcomed every animal by, well, being intrusive. Having said all that, I think that myth that a dog's mouth is cleaner than humans, busted, completely busted. Just common sense should bust that myth. I don't know how anyone could believe that in the first place. Then there's the smell. Puppies have this unique, weird smell that goes away when they get older, and it turns into dog smell, along with their rotten fish crap breath smell. But much of the time they have their mouth open and they're panting and their tongue is lolling out. No other animal does that. If any other animal did that, we would all think there was something wrong with it and it was gross and ugly. But no, dogs get a pass. None of my other pets have ever acted like that. And as far as the changing smell goes, I don't know, that might be a canine thing. I've never been around wild canines, so I don't know whether a fox kit has the same weird puppy smell that a domestic dog has. And if that goes away when the fox grows up, I don't know. None of the pets that I chose to own changed their smell from babyhood to adulthood. So don't tell me how wonderful dogs are. I've been around them enough to know that they're not. Having said all that, I do not subscribe to the anti-dog community's stance that dogs are mutants, unnatural, man-made animals. Therefore not real animals, and maybe not even actually canids. Dogs have been with us since the beginning of time. They've taken advantage of human settlements. They always have and they always will. But if they were out in the wild, there'd be enough there for them to scavenge. At least some of them would survive. And they would eventually thrive out in the wild without us. So I'm not subscribing to the whole dogs are totally human-made. No. We've mucked things up along the way, but we didn't invent dogs. There are things about every canid species that just repulses me. Wild canids will kill their prey by tearing their stomach open and eating them while they're still alive and kicking. How compassionate. Now, you can't convince me that just because dogs have lived around human settlements and lived with humans for thousands and thousands of years, that somehow our compassion has rubbed off on them. Okay, so maybe pet dogs haven't figured this out yet, but it's because they don't have to. They haven't hunted. But maybe they've licked enough tears off of people's faces or food out of people's hands that they don't have to go to that effort. So when somebody is barely alive and their dog thinks, oh, food, I can just get it from their mouth or from their eyes. So they go for the face instead of going for the abdomen. And they will do this when there is dog food around, including in their bowls, where they have easy access to it. I'm not saying every single dog would do this, but it's not worth the risk. It's a horrifyingly common occurrence. Arctic foxes will eat human feces, so will dingoes. Same goes for coyotes, and I wouldn't be surprised if the same went for wolves and African wild dogs and all other canid species. Domestic dog barking is a big problem, there's no denying that. They bark excessively for no reason. The dog lovers of the world are always trying to excuse it. They're just being dogs, that's what dogs do. But they have no reason to bark when they don't have to hunt and they don't have to communicate with other members of a pack like in a wild situation. Yes, wild canids do communicate by vocalizations, but not in the spastic way that the domestic dog does. Coyotes and wolves can bark, howl, and growl, just like domestic dogs. Maybe they don't bark as much, but they're all canids. In my opinion, calling a dog a mutant is like calling a lop rabbit a mutant. A lop-eared rabbit is still a rabbit. What do you get with a group of people on the internet that are on various sites using certain terms and phrases that aren't normally used in the general public, but they're mostly exclusive to that particular community that uses them over and over and over again, spreading them throughout the whole community repeatedly like memes? Hive mind, subculture, fleabag, barkbag, vermin, varmint, stinkbeast, stinkhound, stenchbeast, stenchhound, crapbeast, craphound, shitbeast, shithound, shittle, leash goblin, leash gremlin, house gremlin, barking rat, wingless vulture, mutt maggot, obsolete farm equipment, unnatural animals, mutant, man-made animals. Sure, some of these have merit. Stenchhound certainly describes a dog as far as I'm concerned. Vermin, yes. When a lot of these are just overused in that particular community. And barking rats, leash gremlins, house gremlins? Come on, that's just subculture silliness. To heck with that crap. For one thing, I don't think that the word dog needs any help. It's ugly enough. I think describing their hideous behavior should suffice. And everybody using the same trendy terms, it just takes away from the discussion. I'm just going to leave it there because I'm too tired to do any more explanations about the fanatics who worship dogs, and the very worst ones that put dogs over and above humanity, especially when they put dogs over and above children. I've got a special name for those people. I call them slobber snobs. That's it for this one. Talk to you later.